So let's, with new perspective on home ownership, uh, what what are the top reasons that people are reconsidering, where they should live, or they should make a move this season. So there are some like good and bad for, what is going on around the world. Like people are, you can say they're working from home. They're, you know, that is a new norm now, right? Because it's continued no longer, that you need to go to the office. You're working from home, right? People are discovering they don't need to live close to the office anymore. They don't have to travel to the office, right? Or because, also the distance, people are keeping a distance, from other people. Um, and then also employers too, they don't want to take a chance, and they are also, you know, letting people know that they have a choice, or they should be, working remotely now. So you really, people are not, driving to the offices, and they can get more for their money if they move a little further, even outside the city limit. You know, the demand for housing is expected to remain strong in the new year, fueled by both low mortgage rates and the ability to work remotely. Last year, like home sales reached high not seen since 2006, and we expect sale to ride the wave into 2021, averaging 6.5 million for the year. So if you try to convert like your guest room or your dining room into home office with a minimal success, it may be time to find a larger house, right? Instead of converting, you know, the dining room into your office. Um, the reality is your current house. It may not be optimally designed for the new kind of space and new kind of uh, environment. Making remote work sometimes very challenging. Living with the family and also working from home, as we all know that. Okay, that was number one, remotely work. And then number two is like a virtual and hybrid schooling. Many school districts are using a model for virtual or hybrid learning, turning their curriculums into digital format for students. If you have school age children, they may have a need for dedicated learning space. If so, it might be a time to find a larger home, um, to provide your children with the same kind of quiet room to focus on their schoolwork, just like you probably need for your home office, quiet space to work too, right? Number three is gym. Staying healthy and active is a top priority for many Americans, right? With various level of concern around the safety of returning to fitness facilities across the country. Dream of space for a home, gym are growing. It's stronger in the Home Builders Association of Greater uh, explained that for many quarantine, a significant decrease in activity is more than a vanity issue. It is a mental health issue also. Um, Having room to maintain a healthy lifestyle at home, mentally and physically, may it may promote you to consider a new place to live that includes space at home workouts. Correct. Number four is outdoor space. Okay. In a survey of current homeowner, Porch highlights the desire many people now have for more usable exteriors features as well. They believe having a yard encourages them to be more active. Okay. They want a larger backyard to spend more time outside with their family. They want outdoor entertaining space, and then like deck backyard deck also. That's a like 80% of they are looking a yard to for activity. Around 71% they want a larger backyard to spend time outside with their family. 74% they want outdoor entertaining space, and then 78% prefer backs deck to spend time outside. So you may, however, not have the extra square footage in your home today to have these uh, des- designated areas inside and outside. So moving maybe could be the best option, or if you're clamoring for more room to accommodate your changing needs, making move may be your best bet, especially while you can take advantage of today's low mortgage rates, right? It's a great time, I would say, just to get get more home for the money at this time if you can afford it, right? Uh, so these are the thing. It's You have to consider that if you want to buy or you want to make a change in your lifestyle, you can do it at this time. So that's the reason. The bottom line is that today Americans are moving for these variety of reasons. People's needs are changing, and they are either upgrading or downgrading the house and depend on their goal, right? Life goal. So so many sellers, they sometimes ask me that, Ruby, should we like renovate the house before even putting it on the market? That's the question they ask. um, but actually in today's hyper competitive market, some buyers are willing to overlook cosmetics, on minor repair need if it means snagging a home in their price range, right? All they care about getting the house at this time. So ultimately, you may not be recoup the full cost of most large renovation projects when you sell the house, right? This is actually a garage door like replacement. If you think, oh, okay, uh, renovation payback, percentage, uh, garage door replacement, and then deck addition. Um, that can be like garage door is like around 90%. You can get renovation payback because it shows right there and it's up front and is working properly. Then the deck addition, if it's wood, around 70%. The roofing replacement, like shingles roof, that's also like 65%. Around bathroom remodel is also around 62 to 65%, around mid-range. And then major kitchen remodel, that's also a mid-range, around, I could say, like 55 to 60%, you know. So if the market is flooded with the houses for sale, okay, renovation might be necessary to make your house stand out, but that's not always the case. The average home sale receiving around 3 to 5 offers at this time, and 75% of homes are sold um, on the market for less than a month at this time. Okay. If the market is flooded with the house for sale, renovation might be necessary to make the house stand out, but that's not always the case at this time. So let's connect today, you know, to figure out how, if you're ready to sell your house, is remodeling is necessary for you, or the cost versus the value for the report. uh, and then if people also ask, they are considering that if they sell it now, where will they go? Correct? Because they have to buy an expensive house too. So now is clearly a great time to sell, as we know, because of the equity, right? That seller can take advantage. But when you do, how will you find the new home to move into while inventory is low? With so few homes for sale and construction of newly built homes ramping up, you may be wondering if you should consider new construction in your search process. It's a great question to ask that, want to from from pros and cons of what it means to buy a new home versus an existing one. So here are few things to consider, okay, when buying your decision, when you're making your buying decisions, um, while always remembering to work with your trusted real estate. You can ask question your trusted real estate professional along the way. So purchasing, let's talk about purchasing a newly built home. Okay, when buying a new home, you could often choose more energy efficient options, right? New appliances, new windows, new roof, etc. These can all help lower your energy cost, which can add up to significant savings over time. With programs like Energy Star, a new home also help protect the environment and reduce your carbon footprint. And so many uh, builders at this time, they are giving so much incentives to the new home buyers, or they are, if they are first time home buyer, their lender, they also get the lenders incentives too. And it has building purchasing a new home, it's a lower maintenance, right, that comes with the newer home, is another great benefit. When you have new home you you won't have as many as not many repairs to tackle, like leaks, faucets, shutters, to paint, or um, blinds, or other odd jobs around the house that always pops up, uh, to maintain the house. So with new construction, you also have warranty options that may cover portion of your investment for the first few years. Um, Another solid benefit to new construction is customization. Okay, do you want a mudroom? Do you want a stainless steel appliances? Do you want a granite countertops? Do you want a hardwood floors? Do you want a separate office for you? Do you want a multi-purpose room? Okay, these items can be customized to your specific needs by the lender during the design phase, when they are designing the new home for you, the builder is designing that. You can request all these things to your builder. uh, and with the existing home, you are buying something that's already completed. Okay, so if you want to make changes, you may need to hire a contractor to help you, get home ready for you. Okay, so let that's buying a new home. So now let's talk about buying an existing home. So when buying an existing home, one that's already been built, you can negotiate with current homeowner price. Okay, which is something you generally don't get to do with a builder. Builders know their material and construction cost, and they have a price set for a model you are buying. So if you want to negotiate, an existing home is likely, is your best choice, because it's not, you are actually negotiating with the seller rather than builder, because builder has the set price and they have the set, there's no negotiation, when you're buying a house, brand new house. So for some buyer, moving into established neighborhood may be important, right? If you like to get a better sense of things like general traffic pattern in the area, and the feel of community before making a commitment. Okay, you might prefer an existing home. Okay, it's like community is already established, the schools are already established, school districts are already there. So when you're buying a new construction, you won't always have that full view into some of these details until the the lots around you are sold. Okay. um, Finally, timing comes into play. With the existing home, you can move into based on your timeline you agree with the seller, rather than waiting for the house to be built. Depending on the time of the year you're buying and the region you are in, the weather can also be a factor in the time frame. And this is something is keep in mind, especially if you need to move sooner uh, rather than later. Okay, like with COVID-19 pandemic and social distancing regulations, some areas for new constructions have been delayed at this time. Okay, so the bottom line is that whether you want to buy or you want to build a new home or one that's already established, both are great options. They each have their pros and cons, and every buyer will have different circumstances driving their decisions. The options, which options they should choose. Okay, so in today's market, it's important that you have the expert and you trust uh, to guide, who is trusting to guide you, you know, in this process. Okay, you can do what is like for sale by home by owner. Okay, which is we call it FSBO, which is in the process of selling real estate without a broker or a real estate agent representing you. Here's why selling, sometimes it's not a good option, because the houses are, the agents, they have connections with wide metro list, and they can put that in the metro list, and through that, they can connect to other agent and let your property be known that it is for sale. Okay. uh, and then also you are, if you're selling your own, it can be difficult for legal standpoint too, because uh, the realtors, they act as a third party to help you to avoid legal jeopardy. This is one of the major reason why for sale by owner has dropped from 19% to 8% over the past 20 years. Okay, then your safety is priority. When you sell your own, it's very hard to control the entry into your home, and especially when we are experiencing keeping the safe distance due to COVID guidelines, right? So we may also use, like, the virtual tours that's a limited access to your home. Okay. And then negotiating the deals, that's a complex matter too, because you have to negotiate with you when you try to sell your house. You have, with the buyer, there's appraisers, if there's questions of the value, if there's a, buyer's agent, and there's a home inspectors, there's a buyer's attorneys in some part of the country. Okay. So selling your house with today's technologies is that people thinking about selling their house today, indicating that they are generally willing to allow, some potential buyer come inside, but only under the right conditions with the current safety guidelines and technology options recommended by the National Association of Realtors, that real estate agents are well versed, using safe and effective virtual practices and in emerging technology throughout the process. So if you need to sell your house now, what digital options, you should consider to make sure that your potential buyers, stay safe, you stay safe, uh, in that COVID process, throughout the process, and working with the trusted professional who's skilled with today's changing virtual practice. It may help you win big, while abiding by state and local regulations. We know that exactly what today's buyers they need, and then how to put the necessary digital steps in the place. For example, according to the same survey, when asked to select the technology would be the most helpful when deciding on a new home. Okay, in today's market, home buyers said that in order for preference, uh, the virtual tours, they accurate, detailed listing information. They want detailed neighborhood information. They want high quality listing photos, agent led video chat, etc. So when it's time to show your house in person, agent are also able to regulate the process based on the recommendation given by NAR to help you proceed safely. Here are few of the guidelines, like understanding priorities should be always be obeyed by the state and local restrictions and laws. First, like you have to be limited in the person activity, require guests to wash their hands or use alcohol-based sanitize, remove shoes or covers with booties, or follow CDC guidelines and social distance, and wearing face mask at all time. Okay, so the bottom line is, in this era of life, things are shifting quickly. Virtual seller strategies may be game changing options, and let's connect. That's the reason that the technology is playing a big role at this time. So next, let's talk about why pricing your house is really matter. In today's real estate market, setting the right price for your house is one of the most valuable things you can do. According to existing home prices nationwide are expected to increase 3.3 this year. This means experts anticipate that home values will continue to climbing going forward. When it comes to pricing your house, the goal is to increase visibility and drive more buyers your way. Instead of trying to win the negotiations with the buyer, you should price your house so that demand is maximized and more buyer want to take a look. Okay. Um, as a seller, you might be thinking about pricing your house on the high end, while so many of today's buyers are searching harder than ever. That is just to find a home to purchase. You know, competition is skyrocketing, and bidding war is skyrocketing at this time. But here's the thing, a high price tag does not mean you're going to cash in big on the sale. It's actually more likely to deter buyer. Even today, when there are so few houses for sale, your house is more likely to sit on market longer or require a price drop um, that can send buyer running if it isn't set just right. So pricing your property when you're selling a house is major major point. Okay. Um, unpro- underpriced homes, they actually lose the value, decrease future buyer power, and deters skeptical buyers. And the market value, it's a better chance uh, of a bidding war, high sale price, fast sell. If you do the overprice, then it sits on the market longer. Price drop can send the wrong message to buyer that price is out potential buyer, right? So it's important to work with the um, trusted real estate professional uh, to make sure your house is priced correctly. When your price is competitively, you won't be negotiating for one buyer. Instead, you'll have multiple buyers competing for the house, potential increasing the final price. So the bottom line, the key is to make sure your house is priced to sell immediately. This way, it will be seen by most buyers. More than one of them may be interested. I'll be more likely to sell at this competitive price. Okay. So what real estate professional, what he or she can do for you is that they can contract, they can help you with all disclosure, the contracts uh, necessary, any heavily regulated environment, any experience. uh, they'll be well versed in real estate and experienced with the entire sales process, negotiating. We act as a buffer in negotiation with all parties throughout the entire transaction. The education, we simply and effectively explain today's market conditions, um, what that means for you, and then pricing. We help you understand today's real estate value when setting the price of a listing or market an offer or purchase. Okay. So that's it, my friends. Hope all this help, and you are most welcome to write me in comment section. If you have any questions, any concerns that I can answer for you. And till then, talk to you soon. Uh, See you tomorrow morning for next class, and you take care. Thank you. Bye.